morning and a very warm welcome. You are watching JanataTelevision and this is the English Bulletin with me, Anustha Acharya. The top stories first. Chairman Dahal claims he is in process of uniting people. Maoists complaining for the social justice in the country. Nepali Congress intensifies its election campaign. Instructions are given to send representatives to all municipalities. Vice President Poon stresses on overall development of the fine arts, points out the fine arts to preserve Nepalese heritage. Russia wants US to stop arming Ukraine. Foreign Ministry spokeswoman confirms Russia sent diplomatic notes to the US. And Nepal preparing to play 3 nations for friendlies, qualifying to the Asian Cup unrealistic. Chairman of the CPN Maoist Center, Pushpakamal Dahal, has said that the process of uniting all the people against those seeking reversal of political change has started. Speaking at a program organized at the party's central office on Friday, Dahal said that the process of uniting all the people across the country was underway against those who were trying to reverse the political change. Stating that there was a conspiracy to overthrow the republic last year, he also expressed his commitment not to allow the overthrow of the rights and identity established by the Maoists. He also said that the Maoists have a campaign to make the country egalitarian with social justice. The Nepali Congress is going to send representatives to all the municipalities, focusing on local level elections. A meeting of the Central Steering Committee for Local Level Elections held at the party's central office in Sanepa on Friday decided to give instructions to send representatives to all municipalities, said Nepali Congress Central member Navin Singh Mahar. He also said that the joint general ministers would be sent to the state level and the state and central representatives to the districts. Various subcommittees have also been formed under the Central Election Steering Committee. He said that the meeting of the committee, chaired by Purna Bahadur Khadka, vice chairman of the party and coordinator of the local level election Central Mobilization Committee, also discussed about making systematic and monitoring the compliance of the code of conduct. Dilendra Prasad Badu, Minister of Industry, Commerce and Supplies, claimed that government is embracing better policy now to import betel nut. Industries will be allowed by government to import the raw material by themselves. A report. During a meeting organized by Industry, Commerce, Labour and Consumer Committee, Minister Badu said that there was complications previously because very few businessmen were given permit to import betel nut. Hence, now the government is embracing the policy to permit the respective industries to import betel nut by themselves. He alleged that priorly the businessmen were involved in smuggling the goods to other countries that were imported for Nepal.
व्यापारीहरूलाई दिँदाखेरिको समस्या आउन थाल्यो उद्योगीहरूले कच्चा पदार्थ नपाउने व्यापारीले ल्याउनु चाहिँ ल्याउने उनीहरूलाई लाइसेन्स दिएको देखियो नि त केही व्यापारीहरूलाई दियो उनीहरू त ल्यायो होला तर जसलाई चाहिने हो उद्योगहरूलाई पाउनुपर्ने कच्चा पदार्थ नपाउने सानाहरू झन् समस्या परेकै होला.
Nepali Congress leader and Member of Parliament Prakash Snehi warned that it is not acceptable if government allows other than the industrialists to import the betel nut. He alleged that previously the businessmen kept only 10 to 15% of the betel nut in the country and the also rest were supplied overseas. He also requested government to tax the pan and other tobacco shops.
र 5% 60,000 भनेको मैले अघि सेतोबाट भने राम्रो रिसर्च आर्टिकल छ 25,000 व्यवसाय छन् र अर्को कुरा यी 5% वालाहरू 60,000 भने कतिपयहरूले 1 रुपैयाँ तिरे पनि राज्यको ट्याक्सको दायरामा ल्याउनका लागि उद्योग विभागले सानो उद्योग विभागले र वाणिज्य विभागले राजस्व विभागले चाहिँ महत्त्वपूर्ण निर्णय चाहिँ हामीले चाहिँ कति छ त हाम्रो देशभरिमा यो पान पसलहरू कति हुन्छ त्यसको बारेमा चाहिँ एउटा डाटा चाहिँ कति हो लाग्यो त।
During the program, the director of Deoti Gutka Industry said that the government should allow the industry to import betel nut according to their need of consumption. This is Janata Bulletin. We'll be right back after a short break. Welcome back. After the break, we continue with other national news. The government yesterday confirmed 15 new cases of COVID-19 across the country. According to the Ministry of Health and Population, the number of active cases of COVID-19 has dropped to 592 after 44 people recovered from the disease. So far, a total of 978,634 people have tested positive for the virus in Nepal, while 965,847 people have already recovered. No new death from the virus was reported yesterday. The death toll from the virus remains constant at 11,951. Nepal is currently among top 61 countries affected by coronavirus. USA tops the list with 82.25 million cases, followed by India with 43.03 confirmed cases. The virus has infected more than 502.83 million people worldwide and has claimed over 6.21 million lives. Vice President Nanda Bahadur Poon has stressed on the need for the state to make the overall development work of the fine arts sector more effective. Inaugurating the National Fine Arts Exhibition in Kathmandu on Friday, Vice President Poon said that the state should work more effectively for the overall development of the fine arts sector, respect for its artists and their future. He also pointed out the need to continue making contributions through fine arts to preserve Nepal and pride of Nepalese in the world.
ललित कलाको समग्र विकास, ललित कलाका कलाकारहरूप्रति सम्मान र भविष्यका लागि राज्यले आफ्नो कामलाई अझै प्रभावकारी बनाउँदै लैजानु पर्दछ र यसमा ललित कला प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठानले आफ्नो कामलाई अझै अघि बढाउनेछ भन्ने विश्वास पनि मैले लिएको छु.
Vice President Poon also urged the academy to move forward by solving the problems and challenges of the fine arts artist. And now the news from economic front. The interest rate of banks and financial institutions on loan has reached double digit according to a report published by Nepal Rashtra Bank. The report states that the interest on loans increased due to the increase in interest on deposits as well as the increasing operation cost of the banks. The average interest rate on loans of banks in the month of Fagun to mid-March was 10.5%, the report states, adding that the interest on loans reached double digit in the month of March, January to mid-February. The average interest on loans was 8.48% during the first month of the current fiscal year. The banks were involved in an unhealthy competition of increasing the interest on deposits to attract customers following the liquidity crunch in the banking system. As a result, the interest on loans also increased. The interest on deposits have almost doubled in the current fiscal year. According to the central bank, the average interest on deposits was 7.76% in the first month of the current fiscal year, which increased to 8.73% in the 8th month, that is Fagun. Time for a short break here at Janata Bulletin. Stay tuned for international news. Welcome back. Now the international news. Russia has warned the Biden administration of unpredictable consequences if the US keeps arming Ukraine. The Washington Post has reported in Moscow a foreign ministry spokeswoman confirmed Russia had sent diplomatic notes to the US and other nations about supplying weapons to Ukraine but did not say what the messages contained, the Interfax news agency reported. We call on the United States and its allies to stop the irresponsible militarization of Ukraine, which implies unpredictable consequences for regional and international security, the Post quoted Russia as saying in the diplomatic notes to the US. Israeli forces raided the Al-Aqsa Mosque compound in occupied East Jerusalem, which medics reporting at least 158 Palestinians injured in the ensuing violence as hundreds were detained, a report. The Islamic endowment that runs the site said Israeli police entered in force between dawn on Friday as thousands of worshippers were gathered at the mosque for early morning prayers. Videos circulating online showed Palestinians throwing rocks and police firing tear gas and stun grenades. It was the most serious violence at the holy site in nearly a year. Palestinians view any large development of police at Al-Aqsa as a provocation. The Palestinian Red Crescent Emergency Service said it evacuated the majority of the wounded to hospital. Israeli police said that they arrested at least 300 Palestinians during the latest escalation. However, Palestinian sources put the number of 400. They went in to disperse the pushback, the crowd, after a group of Palestinians began throwing rocks towards the nearby Jewish prayer space of the Western Hall. But Palestinian cameraman Rami al-Khatib, who witnessed the raid, said they brutally emptied the compound. They were attacking the mosque staff, normal people, elders and young people. You are watching Janata Bulletin, and now the latest from the world of sports. Nepal's national football team coach Abdullah Al-Mutari has said that Nepal cannot qualify for AFC Asia Cup. He made such remarks on the day he started training the team for the competition. The All Nepal Football Association ANFA has started preparations for the third round of Asia Cup qualifiers starting from Friday. Following the first day of training at the Dasrat Stadium, coach Al-Mutari said they are pitted against strong teams and cannot qualify for the Asia Cup, and also it is not appropriate to blame the players. A report. Coach Abdullah Al-Mutari reminded that he kept his word of guiding Nepal to the final of SAF Championship while taking up his role as the national team's coach. However, he made it clear that Nepal cannot qualify for the Asia Cup. The team's manager Madhusudan Upadhyaya informed that out of the 25 players called for training, all but Kiran Chemjong and Devendra Tamang have arrived. Chemjong is playing professional football in Maldives. Among the players called for trainings, 11 are staying at ANFA hostel while others will be staying at their home, informed Upadhyaya. Coach Al-Mutari informed that the closed camp training will be held in Qatar after a few days of training here. Nepal here in Group A of Asian Cup qualifiers along with Jordan, Kuwait and Indonesia. All the matches will be held in Kuwait. Nepal will face Jordan on June 8 followed by a match against Kuwait on June 11 and against Indonesia on June 14. 25-member Nepali squad includes Kiran Kumar Limbu, goalkeeper, Deep Karki, goalkeeper, Vishal Shrestha, goalkeeper, Ananta Tamang, Anjan Bista, Eric Bista, Ayush Khalan, Vikas Khawas, Bimal Gharti Magar, Darshan Gurung, Devendra Tamang, Dinesh Rajbansi, Gautam Shrestha, Manish Dangi, Navayug Shrestha, Pujan Uparkoti, Rohit Chand, Santosh Tamang, Sujal Shrestha, Suman Aryal, Suman Lama, Sunil Bal, Surasyu Thakuri, Tej Tamang and Vishal Rai. We are at the end of Janata Bulletin and the headlines once again. Janata claims he is in process of uniting people, Maoist campaigning for the social justice in the country. Nepali Congress intensifies its election campaign. Instructions are given to send representatives to all municipalities. Vice President Poon stresses on overall development of the fine arts, points out the fine arts to preserve Nepalese heritage. Russia wants US to stop arming Ukraine. Foreign Ministry spokeswoman confirms Russia sent diplomatic notes to the US. And Nepal preparing to play 3 nations for friendlies, qualifying to the Asian Cup unrealistic. And that's all from the English News Desk for today. You can follow Janata Television and our programs on various social media platforms, including on our website janatasamachar.com. Keep watching Janata Television. Namaste.